They urgently came for Putin right after Khamenei. Trump has signed a death sentence for the Kremlin. There's nowhere to run. The solution to the Russian question is on the table in the US. This is the final report for the dictator. The bunker won't save him. Decisions were made behind Moscow's back. His favorite port was wiped out. Chaos in Russia. Putin's panicking. A mushroom cloud has swallowed the sky. Russian air defense is taking out its own. 5 ships lost in a minute. This is the end of the fleet. Live on air. A massive catch for the Ukrainian armed forces. Unprecedented force is wiping the armors off the map. A nuclear strike from Warsaw. Putin is in a panic. Poland launches a nuclear fist and Macron gives the order. The Kremlin is already being targeted. Eurasia has ignited from within. Civil war in the streets. Migrants have declared bloody revenge. A sensation. Trump is ill. Cameras caught what the White House wanted to hide. The final blow to Putin. The Ukrainian armed forces are tearing apart Transnistria. The cauldron has boiled over. The Kremlin enclave is being wiped off the map in a matter of hours. Ukraine's patience has run out. All this and more in our upcoming report, Hotspot. Putin is next. There's panic in the bunker. The dictator is expecting a stab in the back after Khamenei's execution. Who among his inner circle has already prepared the noose? The countdown has begun. Tensions in the bunker have reached their limit. The elimination of the Iranian leader was a clear signal for him. Russia is next in line for retribution. Watch for all the details.
Putin's weak spot has been found.
I don't even want to discuss such a possibility. I don't want to.
Well, they're already openly discussing it all at once. Mr. Trump, Mr. Netanyahu.
I hear everything you're saying, but I don't even want to discuss it at this moment.
The lightning-fast overthrow of 2 Russian allies, Maduro and Khamenei, seriously frightened the Kremlin dictator.
Most of the people are already dead. We had a group in mind, and they died. And now we have another group. Perhaps they're dead too, judging by the reports. So, I think a third wave is coming.
Paranoid, Putin realizes that the same fate awaits him next.
Putin spreads destruction around him, whether political or physical. That's the first thing. Second, well, it's like there's this game called Battleship. There's just one square left to cross out. In
Moscow, they're trying to figure out how to respond further to Trump's unpredictable behavior.
If real patriotic reforms don't start in Russia now, the situation will simply become unpredictable. One by one, our allies are being systematically destroyed. It's clear who's next, and it's clear what negotiations with such an enemy mean.
Since Donald Trump returned to the White House, the Kremlin has avoided openly criticizing the US or its president. But now everyone is afraid for their own skin.
Here, of course, one can express deep disappointment over the fact that, against the backdrop of reports about significant progress in these negotiations, the situation still deteriorated into direct aggression.
Propagandists openly admit that the Russian Federation could be next after Iran.
I am assessing the prospects of what will happen. I understand very well what the next problem will be. For us, first and foremost, one question worries me. When will they come for us? Or have they already started? And we understand that when they talk about Iran, they're also talking about Russia. They will treat us the same way now, striking Russia even more harshly.
The assassination undoubtedly touched on 2 of Putin's deepest instincts, his deeply rooted paranoia about his own longevity and his drive for political survival, defined by achieving victory over Ukraine at any cost. This
time, Putin commented on the situation in the Middle East off camera.
Please accept my deepest condolences regarding the assassination of the Supreme Leader of the Islamic Republic, Ali Khamenei, and members of his family, committed with a cynical disregard for all norms of human morality and international law.
And yet, notably, Putin did not name the countries behind the assassination.
Russians themselves perceive this as a situation where Putin has nothing to say. And this is seen as a sign of weakness. Russia is next and Vladimir Putin is next. And when they talk about Amadou and Khamenei, they see the portrait of Vladimir Putin.
In Russian circles, Khamenei's death has drawn comparisons to the overthrow of another dictator whom Putin also called a friend.
Dear Mr. Gaddafi, esteemed colleagues, Libyan colleagues, friends, allow me once again to warmly welcome you to Moscow.
Back then, he was not afraid to speak to journalists and did not hide his emotions. In 2011, Gaddafi's death truly enraged Putin.
And they killed him. His corpse was shown on all the world's TV channels. It was impossible to watch without disgust.
And afterwards, he stated that he was against solving problems by military means, as was done in Libya.
The murder of a person is in general a terrible crime. Armed groups that try to resolve domestic political issues by force of arms.
3 years later, the Kremlin cannibal would go to war in Donbass and then seek to occupy all of Ukraine with bombings and killings.
Agreements on this matter are being forced through by means of the armed forces to achieve this goal, namely demilitarization. We will not allow armed forces to exist in Ukraine that pose a threat from the perspective of the Russian Federation and its people.
Over the years, Putin became more and more isolated from those around him. During the coronavirus pandemic, he hid in a bunker, rarely appeared in public, and FSO officers had to quarantine. Now he has betrayed all his friends and comrades to whom he had promised help. And now the only thing left in the hands of the unhinged Putler is nuclear weapons.
The elimination of Putin is a absolutely legal beat. This is incredibly promising, and it stands as the cheapest, most effective, and simplest way possible to finally bring about a definitive end to the devastating war in Ukraine.
Palace intrigues are intensifying. Venezuela and Iran have shown the extent to which traitors have infiltrated the inner circles of dictators. Putin is a coward and is afraid to carry out purges. Once again whispering in their ears that they could have been in the place of Iran and Venezuela.
My office was destroyed after the attack by the Israeli regime. I smell gas. I should leave this building.
If the head of the regime does not intend to arrange a transfer of power, then top officials and elite groups may start considering their own strategies for such a case.
Today someone said, well, the president wants to do this very quickly. He'll get tired of it. I won't get tired of it.
A US and Israeli military operation against Iran will definitely hit Russia and Putin. Everything is just beginning. Dictators leave office either for prison or for the grave.
A fiery flew over the Russian Federation. Putin is in mourning. Russian air defense is destroying its own aircraft. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. -5 ships and the total collapse of the fleet live on air. OVSU Journal. Putin's favorite port has become a graveyard for his fleet. An unprecedented force is mowing down the Russian army. Watch for all the details.
Shoot down your own so that others are afraid. On the night of March 4th, during another drone attack by the Ukrainian armed forces on the Rostov region, local air defense shot down its own helicopter. My-8. Was that the helicopter that exploded?
Get out of here.
Oh, for goodness sake, damn it.
It's flying this way. No, it's not flying this way.
Friendly fire was confirmed by both Friendly Fire and Z Public. The aircraft was damaged during air defense operations against Ukrainian UAVs. And the crew was killed?
Subsequently, as a result of the UAV attack, unfortunately, it was destroyed. Our aerospace forces? Eternal memory to the fighter.
Let us recall that at the end of January, in the Special Military Operations Zone, a Russian Su-34 fighter was shot down. The aircraft crew was killed. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Army confirmed the loss of the Russian bird. At that time, Russian war correspondents and public channels unanimously spoke about the crash of the aircraft, and that there was no shoot-down, nor could there have been one.
We lost our Su-34. Both pilots were killed. Neither Snake Island Odessa nor Patriot had anything to do with it. The Ukrainians spread it, and ours picked it up.
Not only in the air, but also on the water. Novorossiysk drones damaged 5 Russian Navy ships. Ukrainian drones damaged warships that were stationed in a protected bay deep within the harbor.
As a result of the strike, 5 warships located in the port sustained damage. One of them suffered additional damage. It is likely referring to a minesweeper. Valentin Pikul, Military Unit 90921, Novorossiysk. There is also information about damage sustained by the ships Yesk and Kasimov. It is known that 3 servicemen were killed and 16 wounded.
The port of Novorossiysk is far away and well protected, on paper. But in reality, Ukrainian drones have already destroyed naval military targets more than once. In this fort,
There is a large concentration of air defense and various means of attack, machine guns, aircraft, yet Ukrainian attacks are still able to disable Russian ships. Even if they are not key vessels, less fleet means fewer opportunities and less power for Russia in the Black Sea.
The Ukrainian armed forces are systematically striking not only military targets but also the goose that lays the golden eggs. For the aggressor's budget. Off the coast of Libya, the Russian Shadow Fleet's potential tanker, the Arctic Medegas, was attacked by a drone. A Russian gas tanker was attacked
by a drone. The vessel attacked yesterday by unknown drones in the Mediterranean Sea has a serious problem in the engine room and cannot be restored.
The Russian Ministry of Transport called the drone strike on the Russian tanker Arctic Medegas in the Mediterranean Sea an act of international terrorism.
If a tanker is attacked, then its owners. If tankers are attacked, the owners of these vessels suffer enormous losses. Tankers are usually old, between 15 and 25 years, and even a minor hit means they can no longer be used. The owner of the tanker panics, he loses money and suffers losses. And this should lead him to the logical conclusion that there is no reason to do business with the Russian Federation.
Since the beginning of 2026 alone, Ukraine's defense forces have carried out more than 40 strikes on Russian military targets and oil and gas infrastructure. According to the General Staff, over the past 3 months, Russia has lost 5 aircraft and 2 helicopters. In addition, 3 ships have been destroyed. Another 3 have sustained significant damage. A submarine has also been destroyed. One of the tasks of the Ukrainian armed forces is to minimize Russia's offensive potential, both in the air and at sea.
The revolt of the oppressed. Russia has erupted from within. Migrants have declared revenge on Russians. A real war has broken out on the streets of Russian cities. Yesterday's propaganda idols are being dragged through the mud today. These are not just clashes. This is revenge that cannot be stopped. What the Kremlin feared has happened. Watch for all the details.
The so-called Year of National Unity declared by dictator Putin is going, in quotes, very successfully.
What was the most important thing? We hold a profound and everlasting sense of respect for all those diverse groups of people who became part of Russia. We maintain an absolute and unwavering respect for their unique culture and their long-standing traditions, as well as for their deeply held spiritual and moral values.
The oppressed peoples of Russia are no longer just beating up drunks, vanyas in parks and building entrances. They've moved on to the rich and successful. They attacked the well-known Russian actress Patriot and her sons.
My dear friends, my name is Anna Artamanova, actress, film director, mother of many children, mother of 4. Since 2022, I have been going to the front, giving concerts in hospitals. My call sign is Sunshine. I saw 3 men running toward me, all around 40 years old, wearing tracksuits, athletic build, and right before my eyes they started killing my son and his friend. They beat them brutally, on the head, on the kidneys.
Girls, did you actually go ahead and buy it? For goodness sake, what on earth do you think you are doing right now?
You! And only you!
What are you doing?
Show your documents.
We have documents, don't worry. I
doubt it.
I've lived here for 41 years since 1985.
It's scary that you live here.
It's us who are scared being next to you with knives. Get out of here.
Migrants threw a stone at State Duma Deputy Matveev, and now they face more than 10 years in a high-security prison.
I personally witnessed 3 young guys, specifically 2 Tajiks and 1 Uzbek, viciously beating a defenseless man with heavy wooden sticks. We immediately stopped our vehicle in order to put a definitive end to this violent and illegal act. Unfortunately, they ended up breaking my driver's collarbone during the struggle, and I personally got my head badly smashed with a large stone. I think the sentences will be serious, as they should be, because of course we must fight against migrant crime.
Of course, veterans of the so-called special military operation often become victims of these conflicts as well, and it's obvious that they are hated in society.
I am a soldier of the armed forces of the Russian Federation, working in the area of the special military operation. I asked the Russian community of the city of Nevinomysk for help. While I am here, my family and I are being threatened by an Azerbaijani family from Dagestan.
We had just gotten out of the car when we were attacked. A crowd came at us, and yes, the blows started coming. Andrei was knocked out immediately. For about, probably 15 minutes. We tried to revive him.
An ethnic criminal group, right, in your city? Yes.
There were a lot of people there.
We want to promise that the Russian community will take this matter under its control.
And the children of these so-called veterans who at schools, children of other nationalities gang up and beat them.
Vladimir Viktorovich is turning to the Russian community for help due to constant physical and psychological pressure. senior students, natives of Central Asia, as well as due to the lack of response from officials.
In many schools, not just these, circumstances have developed where Russian children are being discriminated against somewhere. If you care about their lives, if you want to live in Russia, you need to say clearly that you cannot gang up and beat children here. Punishing according to your own some kind of details.
By the way, the so-called Russian community is playing an increasingly significant role in this whole system. They are now openly explaining how to act correctly in mass fights with Muslims, whom they directly call animals. Deputy Delyagin approves of this approach. He even stated that it is necessary to ban giving apartments to Muslims because of their depraved values.
I will send my inquiry, including a request to check the allocation of housing in general to hard-working compatriots who tirelessly and culturally enrich us with their traditional values. Because polygamy, like the rape of children, is also, from a certain point of view, a traditional value.
Community members have even started allowing themselves to humiliate Russian celebrities if they behave in an unpatriotic way. Community members?
I'm actually feeling quite drunk. Oh, I'm really exhausted right now.
Today I saw a post and a video in it where some of our pop stars, Backdoor Lazarev and Transformer Babkina, insulted some guys who were performing old Russian songs. In my opinion, they did it very worthily. This ensemble not only remembers the songs of our ancestors themselves, but also helps us not to forget them. But these ones, as I said, these careless, wayward characters do everything they can to hinder this.
It turns out that no matter how much the authorities go on about the unity of the peoples, it increasingly feels like the Russian regions are held together by some old, dried-up tape that's about to fall apart.